Hi everyone, I'm Royal Watson, your host for this year's event. Joining me on the broadcast, my good friend and co-host, Ken Giblin. Ken, welcome to the Demolition Derby. Why don't you fill our viewers in exactly where we are in this beautiful part of Alberta?
Well, we're situated just on the south shore of Lesser Slave Lake, which is about 250 kilometers northwest of Edmonton. It's just a fantastic event. It's grown over the last 9 years from a $2,500 total prize money 9 years ago to $100,000 this year. $50,000 just take home for that winner.
And of course, joining us on the broadcast, and we need a lot of help on this broadcast because we're not the professionals here. That's why we got a guy like Smokin' Joe Watson, 24-year veteran in this demolition business. He is not only our chief judge, but he is our technical advisor here for this demolition derby this year. He's filling us in on all the technical regulations and rules, safety features. Smokin' Joe Watson, welcome to Widewater, Alberta, and this 9th annual Demolition Derby. Why don't you give our viewers a little bit of insight of what they're about to see here in the next couple of days?
Well, Royal, what we have this weekend is the world's largest Demolition Derby with over 300 competitors. I believe we have out of 7 states right now, plus drivers from all across Canada. With the prize money we've got this weekend, what we've done is we've brought the best of the best, and they're going at it for the top cash.
Also joining us on today's show to bring us all the behind-the-scenes activities, this is Joe Schultz. Melissa Wright will be talking to some of the winning drivers after each heat. Every demolition derby needs somebody to keep the crowd entertained. This is our track announcer, Gord Byers. There are many rules and regulations in effect for this 9th annual Widewater Demolition Derby with $100,000 up for grabs. We need to make it fair for everyone. The only part of the vehicle which is allowed to be painted white is the driver's side door. Any intentional hit on the driver door will result in an automatic disqualification. Drivers must make a hit within a specified time frame of 90 seconds. If they are not able to make a hit, they will be disqualified. When a vehicle becomes disabled or is timed out, drivers must break off their marker flags and remain in the vehicle until the heat is ended. The driver who delivers the last aggressive hit will win the heat. All winning cars are taken aside immediately after the heat and inspected for reinforcing. If any is found, the car will be disqualified. To bring us more insight of this ruling, let's bring in our resident expert, Smokin' Joe Watson.
Right now we'll open up the hood. Our checkers right now will check under the hood for any welding that might be there. We're allowed 2 ready rods through the frame in the front of these cars. There again, I look at that as a safety precaution. It's something to hold the hood down. We would like every driver to go home with their teeth this weekend. As you can see, he's got chains on the bumpers, which again, they're not going through the hood, they're going through his ready rod. You're allowed 6 points to tie down your hood and 6 points on the back of the cars to tie down. They'll go down each side of it. Our biggest thing here is checking for safety aspects. Door bars. On our door bars, we do have a rule on the length of our door bars, 76 inches being the total length of them. There is no rule on the width of them. As this car has, he's got some pretty wide door bars, but that's driver protection. You don't put out a car by hitting them on the side. So right now they'll check for the battery, make sure it's secured, make sure it's covered. They're looking at gas tank, transmission coolers, and any welding that they see on the body. There is no welding allowed to the body, inside or out, for any reason. Everything has to be bolted, and that's just to make it a more level playing field for everybody involved. Once he passes his tech, we'll bring him up over to the ramps, and we'll do an inspection underneath him. We're now bringing the car up over the ramp. He's now passed inspection as far as the safety concerns, as far as the no welding to the body, as far as having his hood secure, everything in place. He now comes onto the ramps. What we have here is 2 officials. They will look under the car from bumper to bumper. They're looking for obvious reinforcing of anything. There again, no welding to the frame.
Smokin' Joe Watson, thanks very much for that information. Well, everyone, we're into the elimination rounds. Here's what we're going to see. There's 14 heats in total, around 15 cars per heat. Now, the winner of each heat will move on to the finals. Second place cars, they're not out of it. No way. They'll have another chance in the semifinals. Plus, there's the buyback for those that don't quite make the cut right now. To get us started, let's see some of the action from Heat 1. Heat number 1 began on a very, very muddy track. Traction and the muck flying, blinding the drivers at times, posing most of the problems. But they're still managing to get in the good hits. Not high-speed hits, but enough to do a lot of serious damage to some of the cars. Speed is a problem here. What the drivers want to do is to be able to get up to a great amount of speed to do the most damage. But as you can see here, this is not happening in this heat number 1. And there's the big final kill shot. Looks like it's going to wrap it up for this heat. Off to the final is car number 46, Trevor Guthrie from Edmonton, Alberta. Now let's have a look at the action from heat number 2. The dirt continues to fly, but the track is improving somewhat. Just a couple of combatants left. Got one big hit there. Looks like maybe one more hit is going to put this Auto Village car out of action. There's the steam, and his flag is down. This race is done. Our winner, heat number 2, Ron Hodges, better known as Boss Hogg from Richmond, Michigan. Let's join Joe Schultz now. He's in the pits with last year's winner, Lauren Hostin.
I'm in the pits here with Lauren Hostin, last year's winner of this big derby. Lauren, this year it's war out there. I know you travel with Rick Nystrom. What's it going to take to win it this year?
Well, there's about 150 wagons here this year as opposed to only about 20 or 30 last year. And it's just going to be dog eat dog. Even though Rick's my buddy, it's my money, not his.
Thanks very much, Joe. Let's have a look now at heat number 3. Just before this heat got underway, Mother Nature opened up the skies one more time, bringing more rain. And as you can see there, the muck is a little bit deeper and flying. But the drivers are still managing to get in the hits that they need, the kill shots, to take this heat and move on into the final. And we're close to it now. Here's last year's winner, Lauren Hostin from Leduc, Alberta. Lining up in reverse, trying to get some speed, put on the big hit, and put an end to heat number 3. And it's final now. Lauren Hostin takes heat number 3. Melissa had a chance to talk with Lauren after the race.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were, of course, the first prize winner last year, taking home $25,000. Do you think you got a good chance of taking it this year for 50 grand?
I got quite a bit of car left, and I think I've got a good chance, yeah.
You were ruthless out there. There was no stopping you. How's the adrenaline going? You're the only one warm out here.
Yeah, I'm pumped, still pumped. It's always fun out there, win or lose.
Thanks, Melissa. Let's move on now to heat number 4. The track's still in very muddy condition, but the drivers are managing to find the traction they need to get up the speed and put on the big hit. Number 57 here, Lee Busick. He's been all over the track in this heat, and it looks like, yes, the indication is he is the winner. Lee Busick, Calgary, Alberta, the winner, heat number 4. Melissa caught up with Lee after the race.
I noticed on your car you've got all 4 tires, which is a rare thing. When did you know that you had actually clinched it?
Well, when I circled in those 2 guys and I knew they couldn't hit me, I just sat back and waited, brought the crowd, and let's do her and go home.
I'm sure all of the crowd and the drivers would agree that hanging on to your tires during a heat at a demolition derby is a good thing to do. Gives you a lot better traction. We're looking at action from heat number 5 right now. A flat tire, this is going to pose a problem for this particular driver right now as he is being chased by the car number 5. Well, it's more like an upside down 5, and he's got all 4 of his tires, and looks like he's going to make out A-OK. This heat very close to coming to an end. We're down to the last 2 combatants right now. One final hit. And Jamie Russell, our center ring flagman. He gives the indication we do have a winner, and that is David Skidey, number 5 car from Webster, South Dakota. Joe Schultz is down at pit level right now with some interesting information on driver safety. What have you got for us, Joe?
I'm standing out here ready for heat number 6 in Starter Alley, and this car right here is ready to win. Look at the I-beam this guy's installed. This guy wants to win. Unlike his competitor right back here, check out this I-beam. This guy is going to get hurt. Where'd he get this thing? Is this from his kid's bunk bed set?
Well, that's what happened to my bunk bed set. Getting ready now for Heat 6, this is Greg Kubel. Earlier today, Greg was entered for the best dressed car. Here's our track announcer, Gord Byers, encouraging the crowd through applause to choose the winner.
Pick your favorite. We're looking good. I think it's between the Oiler and the Dragon. What do you think? How about Mr. Edmonton Oilers? How about the Dragon? Mr. Edmonton Oilers is our winner!
Greg Kubel from Slave Lake, Alberta, won the Best Dressed Car event. $3,000 for making that machine look so fine. In heat number 6, a lot of great action, but it came down to the final 3. 3 cars all stalled out right now. And the timers are watching those drivers very carefully. They've got 90 seconds to get those cars restarted, as Sean Ermentrout from Redwater, Alberta has just done right there. There you can see a driver reaching in, trying to restart his car. He's got less than 90 seconds now to do exactly that. Sean, too, is still on the timer, even though he's got his car started. He needs to make at least 1 hit within that 90-second time limit. And I would think at this point, Sean is thinking, I don't want to do any more damage to my car, so I think I'm just going to give it a little love tap. It's official. Sean Ermentrout from Redwater, Alberta, takes heat number 6. Melissa Wright asked Sean about his thoughts on that heat.
Everybody stalled out there. It was getting a little touchy. You had about, what, 4 seconds left to go to get it started again? What'd you have to do?
Yeah, well, my distributor wire came off my distributor, so I wasn't firing. Then by the time I seen it, I guess I had 4 seconds, so.
And then you realized, I've got it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm in the finals for the 50 grand.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully you do the same thing in the final.
Winner of heat number 7. That went to Randy Mikowski from News Bay, British Columbia. And winner of heat number 8, Dookie Spro from Coswell, South Dakota. Let's have a look now at some of the highlights from heat number 9. We're down to the final 2 cars in this heat. 2 gladiators going at it head to head, pushing, shoving, lining up to make the hits. Smoke and fire and steam. This is what the crowd has come to see at this Demolition Derby. A little bit of a manifold fire there. And car number 7 backing up, looking to make one final big hit and put an end to this heat. And it's official now. This goes to Jerry Kultgen from Calgary, Alberta, winner of heat number 9. Melissa caught up with Jerry after the heat.
What can you possibly do to that car to get it ready for tomorrow?
Change the tire, change my timing a little bit, get more power. That's about it.
And get ready to rock. How many of these demolition derbies have you been in?
Over 200.
And how many have you won?
Over 70. 71 now.
What was the biggest purse?
$5,000 here at Slave Lake 2 years ago.
Wouldn't $50,000 feel good?
You bet, yeah.
$50,000 is of great interest to all the drivers here at the Widewater Demolition Derby. We're in heat number 10 right now, and down to the final 2 cars. Very interesting heat. We have the only female in the main events in this heat. She is Kathy Johnson from Wembley, Alberta, in the black car. And the other competitor, Glenn George, in the yellow car, putting the hit on Kathy. Is that it for Kathy? No, she is still alive. It looks like Glenn George is in trouble. Now Kathy's going to circle around, put on the one big final hit, and move on into the finals. Kathy Johnson, winner of heat number 10. Melissa talked with Kathy after the heat.
You're an inspiration. There's not many of you women here at these demolition derbies. How many have you competed in?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. How many? You won any?
Yeah, I've won actually, I think 4 main events against the men.
Oh, that must be wonderful. When you tell people that this is what you'd like to do, what do they say?
Oh, they think I'm crazy.
Nothing crazy about a chance of winning $50,000. Good luck, Kathy. And joining Kathy in the final, winner of heat number 11, Barry Booten from Westlock, Alberta. Let's have a look now at some of the highlights from heat number 12. Track conditions have drastically improved before this heat. Better traction means better hits, like we see right there. Cliff Ducharme Jr. from Winnipeg, Manitoba in the number 383 car. Very strong contender at this year's Demolition Derby and putting on big hits in this particular heat. Down to the final 2. And it looks like Cliff wants to at least get in one more hit to put an end to this heat. But it's been called, Jamie says, Cliff Ducharme Jr., Winnipeg, Manitoba, winner of heat number 12 here at the Widewater Demolition Derby. Militia chatted with Cliff after the race.
How are you going to possibly get this set up for tomorrow?
I'm just going to get a cat, squash the back end down a little bit, tighten up some bolts.
Okay, now those last couple runs you did, that must have been an adrenaline rush. What does that feel like?
It's great. It just empowers you. You just feel like, it's on top of the world.
Winner of heat number 13, William Reese from Edmonton, Alberta. Heat number 14 went to a very familiar face, Cliff Ducharme Jr. from Winnipeg. Alrighty then, we've got 14 heats under our belt. Here are the finalists now for the $100,000 9th annual Widewater Demolition Derby. All the best of luck to Trevor Guthrie, Ron Hodges, Lauren Hostin, Lee Busick, David Skydie, Sean Ermintrout, Randy Mikowski, Dookie Scrove, Jerry Kulchin, our only female entrant in the Demolition Derby, Kathy Johnson, Barry Booten, Cliff Ducharme, William Reese, and Cliff Ducharme again. He's got himself a situation. He's got himself 2 final spots, 2 cars. Who's going to be his other driver? Let's check in with Melissa Wright. Maybe she can tell us.
We're here with Cliff right now. He qualified for 2 of the heats, coming in number 1, so that's 2 cars. Who did you get as your second driver?
I got my dad. He's been driving for 25 years, and he's been helping me on the cars and working very hard, so got a chance to make both of them there. I told him he could take one in.
Okay, so when you were looking at the cars and deciding which one you were going to drive, you obviously picked the one in better condition.
Yeah, they're both pretty good, so they're both pretty beat up.
So what's the deal if you take home the $50,000?
I don't know, never really got that far yet. I'm just going to go in there and try to survive.
Because you're guaranteed some cash anyway.
Yeah, we're just going to try to survive, hit some cars really hard, and do our best, and whatever happens, happens.
Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's join my colleagues Ken Giblin and Smokin' Joe Watson for the Always Fun mini car event.
Royal, this event that's coming up here is one of my favorites. It's the little 4-cylinder cars. It's like a bunch of Beetles out there, and some of these motors sound like they're lawnmowers going around.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But they just have a great amount of fun with this. They each driver puts in $50. It's winner take all. Like they really don't get a lot of speed built up, or they don't have a lot of energy behind them when they do make a hit.
Looks like we have, some Chevettes maybe, an Acadian, what used to be maybe a Volvo.
Smokin' Joe, what kind of cars are those out there?
We've got them all out there. We've got the Volvo, we got Hondas, we got Ladas.
This would be an ideal event for Yugo then, huh?
Yes. Now, there was a good hit.
Oh, just like that. So $50 entry fee, Ken, and again, it's winner take all.
Yes, so there's 7, what have we got there? 7 cars,
so
yeah. The winner will take home $350. Again,
there you go.
It's something they do for nothing, but they have a lot of fun with it. And $350 helps defray some of their costs.
again, Smokin' Joe, same rules and regulations in effect for this one?
Actually, our rules for the minis and the trucks don't apply the same as our main event. Like I say, these are filler heats. We do allow a little bit extra welding. In my opinion, the mini cars, if you've got the guts to get in there in these little sewing machines, and a few welds are going to help you.
Ouch.
Do some welding. And in the trucks, I mean, there's a tougher competition. We allow welding there, where we don't allow the welding on the main event.
You know, for smaller cars, they're doing some heavy hitting here.
There's a lot of damage going on.
Tracked a little bit on the slick side, but they seem to be doing okay on it.
And another thing too, Royal, they don't have a lot of weight to get any traction on a wet track.
That's right.
So they don't get the speed up that some of the others do. Because on the back end of those, there's hardly any weight at all.
Yeah. Yeah, this fellow ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, he's down to rims right in front of us here. And his front wheel is looking a little sick.
A three-way crunch. Certainly speaking for itself. The crowd is just delighted with what they're seeing here. Oh, ouch.
It's very easy to understand why they have those reinforcing bars on the driver's door in case there is an accidental hit.
Yeah.
It is the most strongest part of the car. Right down in front of us here, Royal. He's right down to rims. He's not going anywhere.
And I guess it would be illegal for him to get out of the car and just lift the rear end and get going again.
I don't think so. I think we're down to about we still got 3 for sure that are going there.
Excellent.
Oh, there was an excellent hit.
He liked it too. Got him.
He's getting lined up to give him one more too.
Preston will it go around in circles.
Are in the stands. If the winners for the final are in the stands, could you bring in a card to the line-up pit, please? If you're in the stands.
These are the final 3 right here.
And that one there, I don't think he's going anywhere. If you look at that back wheel, it's pretty
goodness. It is toast.
Smoking would that be an axle he's got broke there? He's not moving anywhere.
No, what he's got is the whole back end of it's just dropped to the ground. But I think he's on a stall right now. He will be on the clock. I believe he's just been timed out.
Okay, here we go.
So we're down.
Oh, he was kind enough to stop. Didn't want to hit him in his driver's side door. Where did he go? Where is he? Where is he? We got to finish him off.
And that brown one out there, that was the one that was the Derby car raffle out here. And when his name was pulled, he got his entry fee paid, and he's into the final event.
And as I understand it, all proceeds going to local charities. So a local raffle was held here. Yeah. People purchased tickets. Then one name was drawn. So I mean, it could have been anyone. You know, one could have been caught off guard, you know, purchase a ticket here, you know, and then they find out, I'm what? I'm driving in the demo derby? Say what?
I think we have a winner.
There he is.
And the raffle winner, he wins the event, so he takes home $350.
And he's pretty happy about that. Jamie counting them down.
And there it is. We do have a winner. That's a pretty happy guy.
Absolutely. The mini car event winner, Ray Rocheleau. He's out of Detroit, Michigan. Now, have you ever wondered what happens to a mini car after it wins an event? Introducing the skid loader to put on the big crush. Crowd loves to see this type of thing. And actually, they're saying it's not flat enough. Let's bring that skid loader back one more time, and let's see if we can do a little bit more squishing here. And that's exactly what they've done. There you have what we call an ultra mini car. Now let's move on to the Powder Puff event. We had many entries for this and up for 2 heats. Here's a taste of heat number 2. So these ladies, they're gonna experience the same type aches and pains. By the time this Powder Puff event is all done.
And for 8 of them, they got to do it twice. And like back to back. They don't get right. They don't have a chance to rest up for a day. They get it right from especially the 4 out of here. They stay on in the ring, and the other 4 come in, and then they're right back at it. Just time to add a little more gasoline to that tank that's in behind the seat there, because they only carry about.
I mean, look at this. Look at this here. I mean, that's what Demolition Derby excitement is all about.
And they're hung up there too. And if somebody bumps them off, they're probably.
But they are doing very, very well. Very well. Crowd is loving it. They're hung up, but somebody's trying to be a good sport. Give them a little push.
Number 46 is trying to break them free so they get back in it. Oh, we got a problem on the field here, Royal. I see the officials coming out. I'm not sure if
there's that car turned over. You know, I was looking at the action down at this end of the track, and I totally missed what happened there. But again, with this track now all dried up, and you take a hit like that, the possibility of flipping that car over is a lot more. And there she is. She's all.
The driver's out. She's okay.
We now have 8 finalists for the Powder Puff event. Let's have a look. $3,000 the gals are going for right now. These survivors,
if you can call them survivors.
The shape of some of these cars. We got one car that hasn't even budged an inch at this point.
She's still trying to get it started there. She's got 90 seconds to get it going. But there's just no life left in these cars anymore, Royal. Like
they're ready for the junk heap.
Some of them have no radiators. They're just running on the water that's in the that's in the block.
Yeah, so if somebody's looking for a little fixer-upper, this is the place to be today.
Oh, there was a good hit. There was a good hit. You could just see her head just jolt to the side there.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't have your head down. You got to be looking around all the time,
They can come at you from any angle.
Absolutely.
I see that Energizer Bunny is still going out there. I think that one on the side there, that she never did get it going, so it was just beat up too bad.
That's right. Flag is coming down.
We're down to our final 7 here, Royal. There is one other event that the drivers themselves put on later on. It's called a grudge match. Anything that's still running they'll come out later on in the day. They'll go out there and they each throw it about $20, and it's winner take all. So,
all right.
But that's the final event for the day. But that'll be long after we're gone. They usually do that as a wrap-up before they start packing up and heading home.
Okay. Well, you know, from what I've seen so far in the past couple of days here, Ken, that should be about 90% of the cars. It may look like it's down and out, no more life left, but they have...
Oh, look at that hit.
Was a heavy hit.
She came right across the field of that one.
Absolutely. And again, if the driver's not paying attention to what's happening around her, she just gets the bell rung.
She got her bell rung good on that one.
And seeing stars.
Oh, just missed.
Yep.
We're down to, well, oh, there's still one up there. Energizer Bunny on the far side of the field. She's trying to get going.
Yep.
But I don't think she can turn her wheels.
Now, this vehicle here is shredded. I mean, that is shredded.
There's nothing left of that thing.
They won't have to put it through the shredder. Or it's already done. Just looking at that door hit there. But I guess...
Oh, look at that car.
Boy. These ladies are nasty.
I don't know that she's going to get that one moving. Oops, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, we've come to realize here, Ken, that just when you think they're finished and done for the day, there's still that little spark of life remaining.
Well, she's got a lot of spark, that one. Look at the condition of those. There's just absolutely nothing left. It's just, I'm sure when General Motors or Ford or Chrysler built some of these, they never thought that in a million years that their final resting place would be a demolition derby.
Yep. This multicolored car on our screen right now, desperately trying to get it started.
Trying to get it going, and the timers are on her.
Oh, the wheels still turn. And look what just came back to life here. I mean, it's just, ouch. Come on, you can start. Got about 30 seconds to do so. And look at this. Is this going? No, she's got that look of, ain't gonna go. Down comes the stick.
Just couldn't get it going. That thing is just beat to nothing.
Oh, no kidding. This is brutal.
I think we're down to our final. Well, there's still four. There's one out there. There's one in the center that she's trying to get hers going again.
Yep. Heads up. Who's she going to hit? She's looking for somebody to tap.
Look at that. There's just nothing left of the tires.
Yep.
The front wheels are caving, and she's still going for a final hit. We got number 222 and number 23. They look like they have the best chance right now, at least. Well, again, number X out there.
Just when you thought they were done for the day, not to be. They'll just push her out of the ring right now. They both going to take a run at her? Let's see what happens here.
No.
Or they're going to take a run at each other. Oh, no. I thought they might just double team up on that one.
They're having fun out there, but now they're down to 3. They think if I could just last another couple of minutes, I'll get that $3,000.
Just a reminder to our viewers, stand by. We're getting set to present the big $50,000 first prize from the 9th annual Whitewater Demolition Derby. Don't you dare go away.
That's what everybody came for. Certainly those 300-odd drivers that we had. Now look at this one out here, Royal.
Now hung up on a tire.
Well, both tires, front and back.
That tire just, the tire and all its associated parts, gone.
Like there's no way that car is going to move again.
Smoking Joe, these ladies are out of control.
Oh, yes. As you can see, I don't know who's worse, the women or the men. It's funny, though, isn't it?
Hey, who taught them to drive like that?
We'll let the girls run with the men, but we don't let the men run with the women. I wonder if there's a reasoning in there.
Absolutely.
I said, now, there you go.
I said there was no way.
That upper, her A-frame's ripped off. The wheel's going to lay down, stand up, and she's still moving.
Yeah.
Now watch, it'll go down again. Oh, it went the other way. It will come back.
Hey, lady, you got a wobbly wheel.
But she won't be able to turn that car where she wants it to go.
No.
When she goes to pull the other way, that wheel's probably going to lay down, and she'll just skid it along.
We're down to the final two.
Down to her two. One of these girls is going home with $3,000 in her pocket.
Who's it going to be? 223 or 222?
They're going to give it everything now because now they got a 50-50 chance. And they don't have time to phone a friend either.
No way. No
they
time.
They got their 50-50 and that's it.
These girls do a pretty good job considering most of them and all they're driving is the wrecks that their husbands left them.
Yeah, I think we only saw one or two that were first-time entries here that they came specifically for the powder puff. So everything else had been through at least 3 heats and some of them 4.
Yeah. Okay, these two are going to line up. I got a feeling something big is going to happen here just momentarily.
They're just jockeying for the right position here.
Yeah.
Where can I hit her to get that final crunch and put her out of commission?
It's a circle around the train here.
Yeah. The chase is on. But they got 90 seconds, right, Smoking Joe? They got to do something.
Yeah.
Boy, still a lot of juice left in that 222. Who's going to win the race? Oh, going to wait for it. Going to wait for it. Hello.
I think that one just stopped because she was starting to get dizzy.
Oh, just whiplash.
Now, 222 is trying to push her up under the berm, get her out of commission. A lot of power left in that blue car.
There is.
That's a car to the Vancouver area, that 222. Now that brown one hasn't made a hit on her, so she will be on the clock. If she doesn't make a hit on the blue one, our blue ones.
I see a timer up
there. There we go. Our time's up. There's our winner.
There's.
They don't want to give up.
There
it is. We have a winner. She just won $3,000.
Jody Cleese from Langley, British Columbia wins the Powder Puff event. Now, semi-final action. One of these drivers will move on to the finals.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our semi-final round that we have going on here today. Every car that you see out here was in one of the events yesterday, and as you can see, they're pretty beat up, and most of these drivers spent all night, Royal, trying to get.
Absolutely. It's amazing. After we saw the condition of these cars yesterday, it's just incredible that they would be making an appearance here today.
Like, look at that one that's just driving out of the field there.
Absolutely.
And the thing about this is, the winner of this event goes into the final. So they got to go through one more of these and then still try and.
That's right. Go back with the same car. With the same car. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the driver's strategy is in on this. what they had to go through last night. But when you're talking about $50,000, I guess you'll go to the ends of the earth and then stay up till whatever hour to make sure that the car is up and running for this big action here today, this semifinal action.
Some of these guys, well, they have their whole pit crew back there. They got welders back there. They got mechanics. They got guys that change the tires, because as we saw yesterday, half of these cars were towed out of here with our big pickers, or skidders, I should say, and with no tires left on, and axles laying out in the middle.
Oh, yeah. And you know, a lot of these guys, as the heats were wrapping up, the 14 heats were wrapping up, I mean, they were missing bumpers and tires and axles, and they have to have all that equipment back into place for today. And you see the cars as they're rolling in, and it's just incredible that they actually got it all together. I guess one would really have to be mechanically inclined.
Oh, you got to be a mechanic. You got to be a welder. You got to be a tire changer.
Absolutely.
2, 4. So we got out there now. 6, 12.
Some of them are still working on their cars on the drive-in here into the track. I saw a welding torch already being put to use. So it's right up to the last minute that they're repairing these cars.
And we've got to have 14 out there for this event, because there's a second-place finisher from each event. Okay,
ready to start this race?
5, 4,
and here we go, Kenny.
2, 1,
and we're up and running on our semi-final round. These are the drivers, Royal, that went through, placed second in any one of the events that we held yesterday. So,
absolutely, and you know, our thanks to Mother Nature for her great cooperation. No rain here today. The track is in great shape. I think we're going to see an excellent demolition derby here.
I agree that the track conditions are perfect. It has to be a little bit wet anyway to keep the dust down. So.
And let's just remind everyone, we do have Smokin' Joe Watson with us here today, and he's our chief judge, technical advisor. And when we get an opportunity, we'll bring Smokin' Joe in. But this is very important, so he's really got to keep his eyes glued to the action here today. Smokin' Joe, your thoughts?
How you doing today, Royal?
Really good, Smokin' Joe. Glad to have you back with us.
We're looking at a good day of some good carnage. We got the skies working for us today. Track's in good shape. As you can see, the cars are getting some good grip out there, and they're going to rock and roll for us today.
Well, as we were doing during the heat, Smokin' Joe, who's your pick?
Actually, right now, we've got 12 of the best runners out here. This is anybody's game.
It is.
I don't think anybody can pick one out of this. They all know the winner out of this is qualifying to go for that $50,000. These guys mean business out here. They're looking to kill their opponent.
Look at that hit there.
Now, this is the kind of action we're looking to see. So is the crowd. As they just climb up, the car climbs up on top of another.
You wonder how that number 522 car can even get around, but he's giving it because he wants a chance of that 50,000.
Oh, come on. That's just a bunch of metal with wheels on it. That's not a car. Excellent action. Everybody is still alive.
Oh, some excellent hits going on out there right now.
Some darn good hits there. There was a hit on the door. But Smokin' Joe Watson, our chief judge here, again, as the car is passing by, if another car hits it on that door, that's perfectly legal indeed.
Yeah, the only way that it's qualified, Royal, is that it's got to be an intentional hit. Like if a car is just sitting there and you hit the driver's door, then it's an automatic disqualification.
Absolutely. Cars in the ring, battling out to get into that final for $50,000, $100,000 in total prize money to be given away in a very, very short time.
Smokin', what's the odds of a car coming out of this, like, semi-final event? Like, they've got to go through another into the final yet, and their cars are beat up before they start. What's the odds of somebody getting there is ready to even...
These guys, they've all been through it before. Most drivers know. Actually, once a car has been wrecked, depending on how wrecked it is, it can work to your advantage because you know how to set it up. You know which way the car is going. When your car is fresh, you have no idea which way the frame's going to go on you. So in my eyes, a lot of times a wrecked car can do better. Now there again, depending on how wrecked it is. And
good smash in action. Well, the crash for cash.
Well, we've got 2 that are out of it already.
It looks like 2 are down.
Yep.
10 remaining. See that driver, he's reaching in there, trying to get restarted. I mean, the thoughts that must be going through their mind right now, eh, Kenny?
Oh, for sure. Like, when you think, like, if I can just get through this event, I still have a chance at $50,000.
Absolutely. There you go. A lot of what we were seeing all weekend long, tires blowing, and yet they're still going. Actually, that's the car I was going to pick for a winner today. I'm glad I did this.
No, I don't like his chances now, Royal.
Oh, that's what we want to see.
Just some excellent hits going on out there. And again, you know, it's not just $50,000. Like, second place isn't that bad either. That's $15,000, $100,000.
Absolutely. 10,000 for third, 5,000 for fourth, fifth gets $3,000. That's just about everybody that is in the finals here, right?
Anybody who makes, like, even who makes the final round, they're guaranteed at least $1,000. If you make the final, you get $1,000. So you've got your entrance fee money back. You got paid for some of your time. You've had a lot of fun, and it's really important for everyone that's still alive out here right now, and the field is getting thinned down pretty good, so that they do get into that final round. At least they know they're going to go home with at least $1,000.
Absolutely, and I would imagine that these drivers, those drivers that are friends outside of this ring, they're not friends right now. They don't like each other at all.
And they're having fun. Just some excellent hitting going on out there.
At least seven cars still arrived here from what I can tell, Kenny.
And just there in the top corner,
there goes another one.
Top corner of the screen there, there's 2 that are hooked together. They can't get out, so they both just broke their flags, and they're out of this event now.
And the timers are on them as we speak. They got that 90 seconds to get mobile and do another hit.
We're down to the final 6 here right now.
Smokin' Joe, your impressions of the event so far?
Oh, we've got an awesome event. Like I say, the track's good enough shape that the guys are getting some grip. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. They got good hookup. You get too dry of track and the guys are going to blow the rear end. So right now I look at the track condition is just ideal for all of us. From a driver's point of view, the temperature is perfect for us. It's not cold, it's not hot. Cars like this temperature.
Now, how can a car move along like that?
Well, you know, Royal, you'd be amazed. That car looks like that. His tires may be off, his A-frames may be ripped. When he takes that to the pit, lifts it up, replaces the A-frames, puts some tires on it, does a little torching here and there, fills up his fuel, and he'll be back in here running just as strong.
Oh, he's not running through. He's still going. No front tires at all. Both are blowing.
And again, Smokin' Joe, they're using the same car. Whoever ends up the winner here has got to use the same car in the final.
That's right. I mean, whatever they qualify here, they got second place yesterday. I look at it, they come that close to the final, but didn't quite do it. So we've put a heat together for themselves. The winner goes in there. There is no entry fee on this. And they're guaranteed $1,000 for the winner. Right after this, we'll have buy-in rounds, which is the drivers that didn't qualify yesterday. They will enter again, and the winner from each of them heats will qualify into the final. So it gives us a good number in the final.
At this point, Smokin', do you have any idea how many heats we may have on this buyback round that you just explained to us?
On the buyback round, with the interest we have right now, we've got 3 heats.
3 heats.
A little more cars per heat, but that's what we have, 3 heats. So there'll be 3 more qualifiers going into that final.
The winner of each one will be just
It'll
like
give
this.
us an 18-car final.
Okay. And again, the worst they can do if they make the final heat, they get $1,000.
Minimum, as long as you can get your car in there, and we even give you assistance, your car has to be in the ring to get the 1,000. If we have to push you in, we'll do that for you.
That's what they call the push, pull, or drag sale. I tell you, our camera crew is doing a great job of picking up some of these, and I'm sure the folks watching this on worldwide pay-per-view, they're going to just be amazed that these things can still get around.
Absolutely.
I think we're down to our final 4. And a couple of those are looking pretty sick. Like that blue one out there in the middle, number 2 on the roof there. Like,
yeah. He can barely move, but he's hanging in there. What a trooper. This event is far from over with the 3 remaining. They're all jockeying around for position. A lot of strategy has to be going through their minds right now.
I think we're down to the final 3, aren't we, Smoking?
Are we down to 3, Jamie?
Looks like we're down to 3.
We've still got 4. He hasn't been timed out 2 yet.
Well, there's one of the out of the camera shot right now, the far side of the pit. He's still got it. He's on his countdown for his 90 seconds. He's got to get going and make a hit here.
Oh, baby, don't get hooked on me. Little B.J. Thomas action here. Get away from me.
If they don't get unhooked, that number 16 that's just circling the field could walk away the winner out of this heat here.
It looks like it. All he's got to do now is smack somebody that is still in the game. So his timer set back to 0.
Oh, they got free. Now they got to make that hit.
Smoking Joe keeping his eye on the timers.
What you just witnessed there was what we call a good sportsman.
Yeah.
Number 16 was basically driving around. 2 cars are hooked up.
Yep.
He realistically could have come in there and just give them love taps.
Yep.
He opted to give the crowd a cheer.
Good
and
head
split
on.
them apart. So let the 3 of them keep going.
That's what you call a true sportsman in this event.
I call that a sportsman. There's a guy that's come out here to put on a show. Like I said, he could have just guaranteed his win right there by giving little love taps. He's about to split them up and let them keep going.
Here we go. Here comes the lineup. He's got somebody in his sights.
I think he's gonna finish off number 2 here right now.
Yep. And again, as these cars are heating up, Smoking Joe, they're losing that power.
They are. Actually, there's a couple out there that are looking like they're running pretty strong.
Hey, I've had days like that to work.
These may be old cars, but you'd be surprised to look under the hood and realize they got better engines.
Look at the front end of number 2 here. There's just nothing left of it.
Not at all. But still in the game.
He's still going to make a hit right now.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be a hard hit. A tap will do just fine. So it's for 3. 3 remaining.
Now is number 2 on a timer here?
All right. Smoking Joe keeping his eye on his trackside timers.
Say we're down to our final 3 here. This is going to determine who's going for that $50,000.
I find it very hard to believe that the survivor from this particular heat is going to go anywhere further than this.
Well, I say, Roy, you'll be amazed when he comes back out. You look at him now, everything crumpled, steaming. But as long as he's got time to cool down that engine and tranny, the rest of it's cosmetic. He can cut torch, rip it away. Well, he'll basically be in here with what's left of his frame, but he'll have a powertrain, and that's what's making him move.
That's it.
Like, there's no way they'd have any way they could put a radiator back in there. They just go with the water that's in the block.
Depending on what they look like, a lot of guys will just join because there is no room for a radiator after this.
Where do you put it? And how long could a car last in just that kind of condition, Smoking Joe?
Well, as you see through our heats, there's a lot of these cars that'll blow the radiators, and they'll run for 20 minutes, half an hour. They haven't got the coolant in them. Of course, at this stage of the game, these guys could care less if they run it till they see it.
Well, let's remind our viewers not to try that at home with their vehicles.
No, definitely
Don't
not.
run your rad dry like these guys are doing here.
And this is definitely not the thing you want to try out in the Safeway parking lot.
That guy's got written on his car, scrap. Boy, that's a pretty good description. Far from finished. Look at him lining up. Here we go. If he just had the power, eh, Smoking Joe? If he just had some power.
He's got a little bit too much dragging on the ground. He's pulling hard. But one thing about these guys, we all believe in recycling. So that's what we're doing here. We're recycling before they go to scrap.
Excellent.
I think our car number 2 out there, he just got too much drag in there in that front end.
Yeah.
Look at that scene there.
Yes, Wayne, find out how much time we got here. We got to end this quick.
Timers are keeping a close eye on this one. They need to, because with that kind of money up for grabs, we got to make it fair. Come on, baby, come on. You can do it. Just one more hit. Just one more hit. You can do it. And it looks like number 11. Number 11, the card is up, timed out.
That's the car number 2 there on the field.
Pardon me, car number 2.
And
That's right.
We're down to the final 2 cars.
Who is going to survive?
The lime green one out there, he was the good sportsman that separated those 2 finalists in this event. And he's still giving them another little shot there. One parting shot. And we have a winner. We have a winner. Great heat. They just did a fantastic job of that. Now, he's got to try and get that thing ready to go back in the final round and his chance for $50,000.
Glenn George from Surrey, BC, now has a place in the final. In the buyback round, which featured 3 heats, Mike Gordon from Langley, BC, picked up a berth in the final. Who will join him? Let's find out by checking out the hits in heat number 2.
Okay, Royal, you can see out there right now, this is our second buyback round. The drivers who didn't place first or second yesterday, they get a chance to buy back in with the winner of this heat will go into the final round and a chance to win that $50,000. Normal events we had getting up to this, there was like 15 or 16 cars. This time we have 25.
25 cars. It's absolute mayhem inside the ring here at the 9th Annual Widewater Demolition Derby.
It is just, this is one of the fun events here. The drivers know that this is their last chance to get in that final round.
Their last kick at the can for that big $50,000, you betcha.
Look at that out there. There's about 7 or 8 of them all smashing into each other at the same time. And you'll see some huge hits in an event like this.
Absolutely. The track is in excellent condition.
Yeah, just perfect.
Got good speed out of the cars. And like I was mentioning earlier, Kenny, if these guys were friends before, maybe back in the pits, they don't like each other at all.
No,
right
there's no such thing as friends out there right now. They might have come down here together, but this is for the big ones.
You know, it's nothing personal. It's business. That's what it is.
What's going through their minds right now, that $50,000 is going to look a lot better in my bank account than yours.
Absolutely. And, you know, with 25 in the ring, I mean, there's a lot of strategy going through the drivers' minds right now on how they're going to survive this carnage here today.
And the thing is, look at that hit, some of those hits there. And like as you said earlier, Royal, the track is just perfect. It's just wet enough. It keeps the dust down, and but not too muddy that they can't get good traction. And then you'll see some huge hits out here in these events today.
And again, as you were explaining, this is the second round in the buy-in round. Each of the drivers are spending $100 to get back into here.
Yeah, and there's one more event like this, and so out of this there'll be 3. There was a great hit right down in just in front of the booth here. Just really smashed right into.
He's caught up on the berm.
He's got to try and get himself down, because if he stays there for 90 seconds, he's out of it.
And it's going to be doubly difficult for these drivers to figure out who is still in the race, who's not in the race.
Yeah, when you see 25 out there, it's hard to see that little stick there with a red flag on the end of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, he got himself free down in front of us here, Royal.
And he's still in the game, and here comes the mud. But these drivers have been great all weekend long throughout this event, paying attention to the rules, to the safety.
Like an event like this, it's a sport to all these people out here. They don't want to see anybody get hurt, you know.
Absolutely not.
And that's the last thing the organizing committee wants. Like they just wanted a fun event for everybody. The weatherman it looks like he's going to cooperate with us today. We see some blue sky off to the west here, and let's hope that keeps up. Just some excellent hits.
And an excellent crowd, too. And they are appreciating every moment of this action here today.
And they, like, again, the winner of this event, Royal, he's got to go back and try and get that car.
Absolutely.
Drivable to go in that final round, because there's going to be a lot of fancy body work and welding here in a very short period of time.
All we're going to be seeing is a frame, motor, and wheels. That's going to be about it.
Like there's a couple out there in the middle, like right now, that one that's just right there, number 18. There's hardly anything left of his car.
Yeah.
He's still going.
We're seeing a lot more parts left on the track here today, aren't we?
You will see a lot more.
Things just aren't hanging on to the car as it used to.
Well, they've been through one of these already just to get to this point. So.
Yep.
It's amazing the punishment these cars can take and still keep moving.
You know, it's work like Smoke and Joe. He's really got his work cut out for him on an event like this, especially when he got 25 of them in the ring.
Yeah, and he's got to monitor all the field judges, and he's got to keep track of the timers to make sure that somebody isn't sandbagging around the edge and not making a hit.
Right.
So hopefully when we get down to that last 4 or 5, we'll bring him on here with us to explain what the procedure is going to be. But right now, he can't talk. Well, he is talking. He's talking a lot to his officials out there in the field.
Oh, you bet.
Oh, there's just some great action out there.
It is really, really difficult from our point of view here to try to keep track of all the action. My eyes are going bug-eyed.
Right, when you got 25 cars out there, and they're hitting everybody from every angle in the pit.
Yeah. Crashing for the cash.
You got that right. We're getting it narrowed down now. There's quite a few with their flags taken off, so pretty soon we'll be down to that last 7 or 8, and that's the ones when it really gets mean.
You bet. Lots of cat and mouse as they're chasing. You know, when they get down to 2 or 3, they're chasing each other around the track, lining up. How are we going to best get the next guy out?
And we got to make that last hit, because that gives me the chance to win that final round.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be a big hit. Just has to be a little love tap. These cars are folding up like accordions. Right here in front of the broadcast booth, it's the old push, pull, and drag sale as we were mentioning earlier, Kenny.
You got that right.
That guy is just getting pushed around. Oh, he did escape. He did escape.
Like look at that. There's hardly anything left of some of these cars, but they're still giving it all they've got.
Our cameraman here
look
today,
at that hit
yeah,
right there.
Absolutely. Kudos to our cameraman here today trying to keep track of this action, too.
Yeah, they got to try and follow 25 cameras or 25 cars the same as we do, so they're doing a great job.
Well, they got the one eye, we got two.
Look at that car.
That's a car?
Road rage at its best.
Absolutely. And again, it's getting a little bit quieter out there as the cars drop off and are out of the demolition derby.
This is their last chance.
You see that car right there? I mean, he just about got a piece of that car right in his face. And that car went by. Look at that.
And he's still going.
I'll give you $5 if you can tell me what kind of car that is.
Wouldn't have a clue.
This car we're looking at here?
Yes.
Flag broken off, still in the race.
Yeah, the timers will keep an eye on him. His got broke off on a hit, and that's perfectly all right.
Absolutely.
And the field judges have just advised that he's quite all right to carry on.
My goodness. And again, when you get all that metal all bent up and pointing north, yeah, it's easy to see why a flag would get broken off like that.
And like some of these, they try to make their hits from the back and save their engine. And
that's right.
There's no way they can even see out their back window because
there's too much metal in the way.
The trunk and the hood, or the roof and everything else is blocking their view, like that one right there.
Yeah. There's no way you can see what's behind him. All you can see is trunk.
Well, actually, what he's looking at out his back window is part of his roof.
Oh, true enough. Yeah, look at that.
Look at it. Still giving some excellent hits out there, and we're getting down to the last few out there now. Look at the front end of that one.
Now, who's got the most power? It's a push, 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 pull. Now, here comes the cat and mouse part now as we get down to the final cars.
We're down to probably about the last 4 or 5. Oh, no, there's another one just coming to life out there. He got his engine started. And when you get this many cars, you got about 3 or 4 little fights going on between the cars at different parts of the field.
Good indication there of trying to get that car restarted. You see the switches there that he's trying to get back in. You got 90 seconds, my friend. Get her going.
And he's gone.
He did. He did.
Yeah, they bypass all the normal ignition systems, and they have a separate switch there. And
that's right. Yeah, he's lining up for somebody.
He's lining up right there. Look at this one.
There you go. How did that feel? Would you like another?
Oh, look at that one.
Just trying to get an eye on here as to how many cars we do have remaining. Looks to me, by what I can tell through all the steam, looks like about maybe 4 or 5. Oh, another one. Yep, so it looks like about 5. 20 down, 5 to go. No, there is that 6th one. He got restarted again. Okay.
The timers were watching him. I think. I thought maybe he was out of time, but no, he was. The timers just flagged him down. He had waited too long, or he couldn't get his car started in time. So I think we are down to that final 5. Oh, there's another crunchy hit.
As they all jockey around now for position.
And
he wants to get out of the way. He wants to get out of the way in a hurry. Oh, he's just climbing up into the back end. Going for a little piggyback ride. Fire on the field indicated.
They indicated there's a fire in one of the cars. We're not sure which one.
Right underneath us here in our broadcast booth. There's our volunteer firefighters.
And these guys do a great job. They were here, and again, it's all volunteer. The Widewater and Slave Lake Fire Departments come out, volunteer their time, and they just do a fantastic job to make it as safe as possible for all the drivers.
Okay, they got the go-ahead to continue.
And they're back on again.
Hello. Smoking Joe Watson available to chat with us now. Another great round of this buyback round for Smoking Joe.
Yes, sir. You want to see some Sunday driving? This is how we do our Sunday driving. I tell you, these guys are giving it all. The winner coming out of this gets a minimum $1,000, and he's going for $50,000. You take a look at some of these cars out here, it's going to be amazing to see how they're going to pull out of there and come back.
I don't know how they're going to do it, Smoking Joe. There's just some of them. There's just nothing left but like some rims.
Well, most of these drivers here have brought everything for spare parts, from drive shafts to A-frames to tie rod ends. But when you take a look at a few of them out here, there's actually some of these big Chev wagons that could have qualified for the Mini if they had a 4-cylinder in it.
Yeah, they've certainly been squished down to mini car size, haven't they?
It's just amazing how high they can bend. This poor guy out here, he's got nothing. He can't see out the back. He can't see out the front. He can't steer. He's just in the motions making a move. And now none of them can see.
There goes a couple of rides, and it's just visibility nil.
Oh, there's a fire out there.
We have a fire.
And it's a fairly major one, too.
Yes.
That's probably the biggest one that we've seen this weekend. Let's get that driver out of there.
No, the driver got out.
Did get out.
He got out. He's safe.
And you know what, Royal? I don't think anybody brought the wieners for today.
Darn.
No, there's the driver there on the camera now. He's safe. That's the main thing. The driver, as soon as he saw the fire, he bails out. And we get our great fire department out there.
And again, when we look at a fire like that, you know, what we've just seen there probably looked more like a gasoline.
I don't know.
Fire of some sort.
What would that be, Smoking? Is that a carburetor that would catch fire?
That one there, that looked more than a carburetor fire.
The driver's fine, and that's the main thing.
He's fine. Looks like he bit his lip on a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have time for lunch this morning, but most guys try to avoid that for breakfast.
They just cooled your seat off a little bit for you.
Now, he'll be out of this one, won't he? Smoking.
Well, hang on. If he can get it started, Smoking Joe.
Depending on what the fire is, we have a 2-fire rule here. And depending on what the fire is, we do let them back in. It's a driver's option if he wants to get back in and try her. And by the looks of this guy, he definitely wants to go back.
Look at this. Look at this.
This shows you the determination of these guys.
Absolutely.
He's got blood dripping down on him. He just about got barbecued, and he says, give me some more.
Yeah. I'm just singed a little bit.
Now, Smoking, how long has he got to get his car going now?
Well, he's on a time limit. We have the timers on him, so I have no idea right now if he's gone 60 seconds without a hit. He's got a 90-second time limit. He might get in there, and he might be close and only have 10 seconds.
Look at this. He's mobile. He's mobile.
Wow.
Oh, that's what gets the crowd going.
And the crowd's loving it.
And we're back into her.
And he got his hit in.
So now his time limit's going to start back. The amount of that smoke coming out.
Oh, boy, doesn't that smell nice?
You think he might need a valve job there, Smoking Joe, on that engine?
I got a feeling he's got an awful lot of tranny smoke happening down there.
From our vantage point up here.
Oh, another there it is again. Yeah.
So he'll be out now because that's the second.
That's major.
Yeah.
Like I say, when you get a transmission fire like that, once it starts once, you're pretty well guaranteed it's going to start up again. That's why we only go.
But hey, he gave it a try.
He gave it a shot. He wasn't willing to give up. He gave it a shot. You got to give a guy credit for that.
What is it? The transmission just gets that hot, Smoking, that it'll just catch fire that easy?
Yeah, actually one of the worst fires in this sport is a transmission fire, because a lot of times what you'll get is a flash fire. And I've seen a fire where it's flashed up, went down, all within a second or two, and it looked like nothing. And it's been some of our more serious fires as far as the drivers go. You get that hot fluid on there, everything's hot under there. And it doesn't take long for it to spark.
And the crowd's giving him a big round of applause as he walks out the back end of the pit. Now, I think we're down to, what, 3 cars?
Looks like about 3 remaining at this point.
Here we go!
And they're
They're
starting them up, and they're ready to go again. No, I think we might be down to the final 2.
It's really hard to tell sometimes.
It's just those 2 up here in the corner.
Yep. And he's just going to sit there and keep banging away.
I believe we're getting down to the end.
He looks like he's going to get timed out pretty darn quick here.
We've got 1 Chev wagon and 1 half Chev wagon left.
There's our winner. There's our winner. And the crowd gives him a big round of applause.
Tom Hanley from Aberdeen, South Dakota, is our second buyback winner. Steve Nystrom, he's out of Edmonton, Alberta. He'll get the 3rd and final position. There's the 14 finalists we have so far, but wait, we can add more to this field. We can add 4 more drivers, like Glenn George. He won semifinal action. And then the winners of the buy-in rounds, Mike Gordon, Tom Hanley, and Steve Nystrom. A total of 18 players now for the 9th annual Whitewater Demolition Derby with $100,000 up for grabs.
This is what everybody's been waiting for, that final event. And the winner of this one takes home $50,000. We have the 14 event winners as we've had over the last 2 days. Plus we had the
3 buyback winners.
And the semifinal.
And also the semifinal, too.
So they'll be coming in one at a time. They'll be checked off to make sure we have the right driver and the right car.
Absolutely.
And at one at a time, and then they'll line up. And as soon as they're all in, then we're ready to go.
I don't know why my heart is pumping so fast. I'm not in this race. But when you're talking about that kind of money, wow.
Well, even as we said it earlier in the cast here, that like second place isn't that bad either, Royal. 15,000 is pretty, you know.
Absolutely.
And 10,000 for the 3rd place, 5,000 for 4th, 3,000 for 5th. 2,000 for 6th, and then the other drivers right through number 18,
7 through 18,
will get $1,000
each.
$1,000 each. So at this point, everybody's a winner, and it's just going to depend on who's the big winner.
And looking at that stuff we call blue sky, it looks like we're going to have a no-rain final.
I think we are. The clouds are moving off here to the east, and it looks clear sky to the west, so we're hoping that this stays with us for about another hour.
Absolutely. Track is in very good condition indeed. A little bit on the slick side, but once these guys get going, and if we get a little bit of sunshine here, you know, it might help things out indeed and make this a really fast track. It's going to be spectacular, not only for our pay-per-view viewers, but also for the fans in the stands here today in Whitewater, Alberta.
And I was just talking to one of the volunteers out of the gate, and apparently there's over 6,000 people that paid to get in here today. So
an incredible amount of support. A lot of Demolition Derby fans. Demolition Derby is fast becoming one terrific sport. Much demand for it, for Demolition Derbies.
Certainly here in Widewater, it's becoming one of the main attractions here every year out in this whole community.
Trevor Guthrie, Heat 1.
In the Slave Lake and Widewater area. So it is becoming a major event each year, and it's certainly getting bigger every year. I don't know what they're going to do for number 10.
Yeah, you have to wonder. You have to wonder. But I got to tell you, no matter what I might be doing with it, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. So they're checking the cars one at a time right now, Kenny, as they come in. We want to make this absolutely perfect.
Heat number 10.
We want all the correct heat winners from the 14 heats that we have already won.
Yeah, and the senior official on the track out there, he's checking them off to confirm which event that individual driver won, relaying it back up to the senior official here to Smokin' Joe.
David Scarvey, Heat 5.
There it is.
Because with that much money up for grabs.
Oh, yeah. We got to get it right.
You can't afford to have somebody sneaking in on us.
Absolutely not.
And when he's all finished out there, then we're going to have 18 in here, and then we get right down to the big money.
Now, have a look at this car here. I mean, it's running. It doesn't look pretty.
Last consolation.
Is that Steve? Steve Nystrom!
It doesn't look pretty, but it's running.
He was in one of the main events, or main heats, and he didn't make it. So
he didn't make it. He was one of the consolation winners.
So he's already been through 2.
That's right. That's right.
That's why his...
Barry Booten, heat number 11.
Now this one's a little better off. He won one of the heats, so he's only had one.
That's right. One race.
Yeah.
So he's had better than 24 hours to get that car back in shape.
That's right.
Let's check out who this car is. Number 36, Energizer Rabbit.
And we saw him yesterday.
Randy Mikowski, heat 7.
Okay.
Go, Randy. Yeah, he did really well yesterday.
The Energizer Bunny.
So it's true. They do take a look at it and keep on taking it, right?
I guess it is, Rafael. But the way we saw some of these going off the field here yesterday.
Well, they were picker material. Yeah. I mean, they were dragged off the track.
Glenn George.
Glenn George!
Our lime green car.
Yeah. The stands are just jammed.
Yes, they are. People standing up all around.
It's standing room only at this point.
Yeah, that count we had of 6,000, that was some time ago. So
Ron Hanley, he won the second go-round.
Okay.
That's Jamie, our track man. Haven't had a lot of chance to talk about Jamie, but he's done just as the first.
Oh, he really has. And he's got a lot of officials to look after out there, Royal.
Absolutely.
He's got to keep track. Like in this case, he's got 18 timers he's got to keep track of. He's got his 6 other assistant judges around the ring. So he's got his hands full, and he's just done an amazing job.
12 heat, Cliff Duchamp.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, in case anybody really cares, this fellow being from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and myself, too, I put my $5 on Cliff 383 Mongoose.
All right. Well, you picked him yesterday, Royal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When Smokin' Joe's available, we'll be able to get his pick on this one, too.
What heat was that? Jerry, heat number 9.
Is that Jerry? Jerry.
Once we do the final check, we'll find out where everybody is from. But I do believe there's at least 3 cars from the United States in this final today.
There's one for sure from Michigan, I think, Royal.
Michigan, South Dakota, and one from North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. So
our friends from the United States, they're well represented here in this final heat
today.
Heat number 3, Willie Reese.
Okay. Of course, then we have that team out of Langley.
Yes.
They did all right. And the remainder of the cars pretty well from Alberta.
Lauren Hostens. Lauren Hostens, heat number 3.
Now there's the fellow that's just going in there right now. Yep. He won the event here last year, and he won it about 3 years ago. So
okay, strong contender then. One to watch for, number 21.
You certainly wouldn't want to discount him when it comes to who's going to be that last one that's still moving out there.
Exactly.
Ron Hodges, second heat.
Okay.
Ron Hodges.
Yep, they look beat, battered, and bent out of shape. But they're doing okay. They're running and ready for the final.
The buyback.
Is it Mike?
It's Big Mike.
Yeah. He got in the buyback round this morning.
Right. So with that car, it's a very strong car, actually. He did really well with it.
He didn't have a lot of time to get it back in shape either.
Oh, exactly.
Now this one here that we're looking at right now, Royal, there's not a lot left of the back end of that car.
None whatsoever.
Robert Straw.
Okay.
Is that it, Joe?
Okay, Jamie, you asked everybody, they got timers?
We got 18. Just double checking what our viewers are hearing is between our official judge, of course, Smokin' Joe Watson, Jamie down there, our ringman.
We've got enough timers.
And just confirming that there is one timer for each car that's out there. So
exactly.
With the 18 cars, we have to have 18 timers, and they have to just making a final check on that, and we're going to be underway here.
Okay.
We see Jamie walking across the field. Now he's jogging across the field in about 10 or 15 seconds, Royal.
Yep, we're all set to go.
What everybody came
We're all set to go.
And you watch Jamie there across the field. He's going to give the signal.
Are we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there we go, Royal.
This
is for the big ones. This 50,000. Actually, by the time this is over, there's going to be $100,000 handed out with the first through 18th place in the prize money.
You know, I got close to handling that check. Felt really, really good. It's the Crash and Cash here from Widewater, Alberta. Everyone at home, have you picked your winners yet? Have you picked your winner yet, Ken?
Well, I'm going to go with Lauren Hostin. He's won it twice. He knows what it takes to win. He's a fierce competitor, and that's who I'm going with.
Okay.
And I suppose you're going with your hometown of Winnipeg, number 383.
I just have to do that. And, of course, actually, Cliff Sr., because the Charm family from Winnipeg put in 2 cars into the final.
Oh.
So son Cliff is driving one, and his father is driving the other.
Some massive hits out there already.
Sun is shining, making out for a great final. Track in great condition.
Just perfect. Couldn't get any better. Like, the track conditions are just ideal. A little soft around the edges, but the center part is firmed up really nice since the sun came out. So the drivers will really be giving it everything they've got.
A lot of strategy, I would imagine, Ken, being played at this point in time with the drivers. I don't think we're going to see a lot of them using their front end.
No,
you know,
they'll try to save that.
Absolutely. But then there are some who.
And we have somebody who's lost an axle there. They just showed on the screen that he'll be out for sure. That blue car there on the side.
I guess they just didn't do enough welding or whatever to keep that axle in.
Well, when the axle snaps off, you're finished. Like, you're not going anywhere.
That's right. Oh, but, hey, that's all right. He's got himself $1,000.
That's right.
Not a bad payday.
When you make it to this far, nobody's a loser.
That's right.
It's just the only thing we're deciding right now is who's going to be that big winner.
I mean, that's starting to look like a mini car, that one that went by. Wasn't he in that little mini car thing we saw?
But they've shrunk down considerably from what they started out at here yesterday morning.
Everyone going strong. As you mentioned, Ken, we just have the one car out at this time.
Couple along the side there got hung up on the berm, couldn't get back out. Unless they get a lucky hit from somebody else, they're going to get timed out here very shortly too. But look at this one right out there in front of us now, Royal. Just hardly anything left of those cars at all.
Just a pile of metal with wheels on it.
And some with only 3 wheels.
And some with only 3. My goodness. Everyone determined to just do some serious damage here to go for that $50,000. And I'm sure that's all the drivers are thinking. 50,000,
right.
50,000, 50,000.
If I just got to get that one more hit, I just got to keep going because, like, if I can take out that one last car, and I'm gonna have that big check in my hands here in about another 15 minutes. Look at the hit. They're not holding back a thing right now. There is no tomorrow.
Absolutely none. This is all the money today.
This is the World Series final. It's the final game of the Stanley Cup for these guys out there.
Now, doesn't that make for a pretty picture when the sun is shining?
Yeah, it sure does. And it's just, just perfect track conditions. Other years we had the fire department and we had to have the track hosed down. It was just too dry.
All right.
This year the weatherman did it for us. A little too much yesterday, but
yeah. We got a car up on the berm. And, you know, unless somebody was a good sport, right, Ken?
Oh, he did.
He managed to come on down and smash someone.
And with a great hit, too.
Absolutely. That gave him a little bit extra momentum.
He had a downhill start.
That axle just sitting out there. Now these cars are riding so low now. It'd be terrible for a car to go over that axle. They could get hung up on that.
And there's no way you can pull it off at this stage of the game.
No way. We got bumpers, we got axles, we got parts all over the ring.
You wonder how that car can keep going.
Exactly. These cars are hanging in there pretty good, Ken.
Especially to some of those, this is their third go at this.
Absolutely. Who would have figured that a car could take so much punishment?
And there's still a good number of those left in this. Like
everyone going strong. Pile up there in the center of the ring. Looks like my 383 car, the Mongoose, a little bit hooked up there. Trying to get away, and he managed to do so. So that'd be 388. That would be Cliff's dad.
Yep.
Cliff Sr.
there's not a lot left of some of these cars out there.
No.
But that's what's going through that driver's mind. If I can just get by another 5 minutes, and I might be that last one. The other thing too, Royal, what they do with the top 6 cars, they take them back over the ramps again just and do a final inspection to make sure that somebody didn't do some last-minute reinforcing on the cars.
Exactly.
So the actual, when we see that final car out there, that's still an unofficial winner until it's that final inspection.
That's right. And all the cars, remaining 6.
Yeah, the final 6, they're all
we'll go back to the pits.
And if someone was found to reinforce a car, then he would be disqualified, and the number 7 position would move up.
Move up, that's right. And he'd be in the bigger money.
Well, going for
six, boy.
Look at that. He's just going on rims.
Just going to try and take a quick check to how many is remaining.
I think we're down about the final 7 here.
At least 7. Still going strong.
I would say what's left out in the field when this is all over, Royal, will be ready for the recycling bin.
Big time. Big time.
There's a shot of Cliff Ducharme Jr. out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. A man hard at work today. Let's join Melissa right now. She's in the stands with the Ducharme family.
How do you feel? Are you really nervous?
Yeah, it's just been a lot of hard work and a lot of tough cars out there, and he did good.
And, I mean, the chances, of course, were better with the 2 qualifying. And you guys drove in from Manitoba. If you walk away with this $50,000 prize, I imagine it's going to be worth the trip.
Oh, yeah, we're going to buy a house.
You're going to buy a house. Wonderful. I imagine. Do you get nervous? Did you get nervous watching him out there?
Yeah, and Cliff gets butterflies, too, when he's starting to go in. My voice is gone from yelling so much.
There goes that number 383.
He's still alive and well.
Big time.
He's lost a tire. He's down to a flat on the front there, but his back ones are still okay. So as long as he's got his back ones, he's still able to move around pretty good.
Absolutely. Oh, nice head-on collision, center of the ring, bringing the crowd to their feet.
The crowd is just going nuts here. They're just having a great time. And everybody in that crowd, they've got their own favorite out there that they're cheering for.
Now, you know, you think of that Ducharme family from Winnipeg. I mean, father, son in the race. I think they got some antics up their sleeve, eh? Let's go and get the strong player in the field.
Yeah,
that's what they've done. Polish them off quick, and then we'll just one by one pick at the others. And that's good strategy.
And that's number 383 from Winnipeg there. He's one of the few sedans that are left. Most everything that's left out there are the old station wagons.
That's right. That's right. Not that you can really tell a station wagon from a sedan really anymore. I mean, station wagons are starting to look like sedans.
It's just a little bit bigger pile of junk.
That's right.
They haven't shrunk quite as much yet.
We're looking at 199. Ron Hodges here.
He's down to like 1 tire. He's lost 2. He's both his left wheels are. No, yeah, he has. He's but
so both the left side tires are definitely gone.
Both lefts are gone.
Turning out to be a tremendous final indeed.
The sun is shining, and it's just a great, great day out here today.
Couldn't ask for better.
I only see about 5 that are still moving out there.
Yep. My goodness.
So the ones that are still alive out there, the worst they're going to do is $3,000 at this point.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And, you know, hey, come on, that's a pretty darn good chunk of change for a couple of days' work. it must be nice to be paid to be having fun.
Well, I agree. As I say, most of these guys that go to a derby, if it was only $500 up for grabs,
that's right.
It's still as much fun for them, only the paydays.
I think we got a little battle developing here between 199 and 383 from Winnipeg. Yeah. They have been the two strongest contenders here at the 9th Annual Widewater Demolition Derby. And here they go. Here they go. Who's going to survive? Who's going to survive? 199 still going. Still going. 383 looks like he's probably stalled out. Trying to get that car going again. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Timers are watching him now because that last
that was the one that did him in.
I think we're down to the final three here that are moving. They haven't flagged them, not your number 383 yet, but he'll be down to the last half minute now, I think, if he can't get going and make a hit.
Yeah. I can see him inside his car. They're trying desperately to do something, but it's just not working for him. Gave it a good try, though. That 199, Ron Hodges, he just belted him a hard one.
But he's still going to be pretty happy. He's going to take home a check for $5,000.
Absolutely. But there again, Ken, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait and see because as these cars dropped off, and we're not really sure how they dropped off onto the contest at this point. I mean, we could be looking at car 383. He could end up in 6th.
It's possible, yeah. No, he was one of the last four. He was one of the last